Back into it then, GODSENT making a return as an organization to the scene, obviously bringing some players that are returning with it. Devilwalk, Michael, they've certainly got the Swedish roots still intact.
And they've been impressive as well. I'll be the first to say, when I saw this lineup kind of come together,
who cares?
Yeah, exactly, right? You didn't think that these guys, they've been out of the scene for so long now. It's been 2 years since you've seen them even play at this level. Surely they're not going to play anything decent down. But they actually have looked very well prepared, and they're hungry for victories.
And not even just 2 years since they were at this, like playing at this level as a team or as individuals. It wasn't like any of them were having a massive impact at that time either. Devilwalk had fallen long off his days of taking pants off at stages and winning majors. Went into a coaching role for a while after that, and then obviously they started the first GODSENT organization. It never really worked out. Michael had his time in, obviously, NIP, went to a major final with them. They went up and down and all over the place, and then he kind of fell off as well. So it's one thing to bring the organization back. It's another thing to have these players come back. And I think Michael has said it, everyone says it, but they have to put it to action. He's been grinding. He's been putting in the time. He's been working harder and trying to make strides forward as a player individually, and we're seeing some of that now at least.
I think you can draw parallels with this team GODSENT as to what we did with Mad Lions. This is not about superstars and having the best players. It's about hard work and determination and actually having to grind through. They haven't had any tournament invites. These guys couldn't even find an organization for about 6 months. Now they finally got one with Pronax actually running the org at this point. They've actually looked really, really good. They opened up against Na'Vi. They didn't win that best of 3, but they took a map off them and had them on the ropes on both other maps as well.
Do you remember the time when GODSENT had like the massive roster shuffle with Fnatic? Like they just took the Fnatic core and therefore took all the spots and everything, and then like 2 months later they're like, nah, just kidding, we're going to go back the other way.
That was a weird one.
That was a ridiculous one, and then the org just disappeared. So yeah, the fact that it's back, and like you say, Pronax, there's another player that I haven't seen in a long time in the flesh that had major success with Fnatic, in-game leader for them for the longest period of time, and then again fell off just like most of those guys did.
Well, there's Michael at the end of the screen, Maiden next to him as well. Another name that's been really turning heads at this tournament. I think he's one of the top 3 performers at the event so far, along with Zen as well, the Finnish superstar who took down Ents earlier in the tournament as well. He's looked really, really good. That's their 2 strongest players. Michael Eddie's still the AWPer, for anyone that was watching back in the 2015, 2016 days. He still is the same sort of play style. He has that kind of flashy, aggressive style, but if it does start going wrong, he can start to peel off somewhat. That was kind of reminiscent of exactly what we expected back in the NIP lineups as well. He'd either be lights out or quite quiet and tentative, but most of the tournament he has looked confident and doing his job to a very effective manner.
I think it's exciting to see, and it's somewhat endearing. Hey, heck, maybe the new Dignitas/NIP, whatever. We can't keep associating them with an NIP. Certainly, I don't think Flaren wants that association. But the Dignitas lineup, the legendary Swedish lineup, maybe there's a chance that they can have something similar. But as we said with OG, as these guys become more successful, and certainly we said it with Mad Lions, people are going to start to look at their demos a little bit more. So right now is the time to strike while the iron's hot, catch people off guard, play some good Counter-Strike off the back of what is a pretty long break for some of the top teams.
Some of the top teams, and that's the perfect opportunity for these kind of lineups to actually capitalize upon that, develop some new ideas. You saw Liquid even announced yesterday they hadn't really played at all in the run to Blast. They just kind of took the time off. They're focusing more on Katowice.
It showed a little bit.
Yeah, it absolutely did. You can see them actually not looking themselves at all, and that's why these teams, the ones that are really working hard and not taking anything for granted, that's why it's starting to shine now. You're starting to see that. And GODSENT, I really didn't expect much at all. But that Na'Vi game, like I said, they didn't win it, but I was like, this is a legit team. They're playing a really effective, high-level Counter-Strike.
And much like you said with me with OG, I didn't get a chance to see that either. You did. They played in the afternoon games. I was doing the morning ones this week, so I'm excited to see this for the first time. I did see a bit of Virtus.pro, and it was more convincing than some of the games we've seen recently from them. They were managing to close out games as well, but there was still hesitation on Vertigo, which they went to. They were really caught off by Heroic doing a lot of retakes rather than playing aggressive toward the ramp. James did well to bring the op into fruition, but there was still a lot of times when he wasn't relevant early enough in the rounds. I know Jacob brought it up a few times that it was back to sort of the meme James time that didn't get anything done in the first 30 seconds. Team's dead, I'll just run and hide.
Well, we will be going through the veto shortly. Virtus.pro, a team, I haven't seen this event. I haven't cast them since, I think, BTS, where they looked pretty woeful at that point. This is like a team that had so much success in 2019 that we thought this is going to continue and get better and better. If anything, there's something to drop off now. Maybe the pressure of the new organization, I'm not sure if that's got something to do with it. But they're not looking like the show-stopping team that we've come to expect. Knife doesn't really matter on Dust 2. That's going to be the map, apparently. And we'll see Sanji here, the support player, up against... I've got my glasses on that. Who's left? Maiden, perhaps? Yes, it is. And it will be...
I couldn't see it either because... oh, okay, so hang on. They've got Crystal Maiden on their team?
Crystal Maiden. I didn't think about that. They do.
I didn't even, yeah, that's amazing. They're just going to freeze everything.
Here, the lineups. Dren, a household name, used to play Gambit, major winner, now finds himself with an Avantgarde, now Virtus.pro. And we've got Buster as well, another strong player. This is a really skilled lineup. They've got plenty of fraggers in the team, and they've got great coordination as well. It seems like something is a little bit off with the team right now.
This is the guy that I rate. I think Kickert's
he's great.
Really, really good. I do. I think his consistency needs to be a little more found. I think Buster was one that I mentioned the retaking and heroic on Vertigo. He was the one that actually identified that, hang on, I can just flank. There's literally no one over at B right now every single round. Why don't I just push through mid? Made it work in the last round. It was a key one. Obviously closed them out the game when it was starting to look a little bit tumultuous. So, yeah, but you're right. There's a ton of skill with those guys. and it does beg the question, and I've made this point a few times. Yes, you made a major final. You've raised expectations. To me, everyone was saying, wow, what a dream run. Like, who would have thought they would be in the final? Sure. Not like I would have sat there and said, they will be, but it wasn't impossible because every event that they were at prior, you could see the writing on the wall that they were always close with everyone. They had that dark horse potential. All it took is a few off games from their opponents and a few good games from them, and boom, it all lined up. So, yes, it is an overachievement, but it wasn't that far off. The problem is they just can't find that form consistently enough.
Well, the last player to round things off for GODSENT, Maiden, one of the players who really has been turning heads at this tournament. Really fantastic rifler, very aggressive, very fast, and very accurate. Great asset to have in the team, and he's going to be putting on a bit of a show on Dust too. Let me tell you, he is excellent. There's Crystal in the middle for you. Some of the old schoolers might be aware of him, playing for a very long time. A lot of those kind of names within this lineup. You've got Sticko, Michael, Crystal. These are big Counter-Strike names, but they haven't been relevant for over a year now.
Penta, and then did he do a stint with Big?
I think like he was in our German team. It might have been one of those. Might have been Sprout. I think. I'm not sure though. He's one of those guys you haven't heard from.
Crystal's famous. He was the one that it hasn't been circulated in a while, but he was defusing a bomb to win a game, and his coach came over to congratulate them too soon, or their manager, as it were. I think it was the team, like one of the organizational managers.
I forgot about that.
Hit his arm. He let go of the defuse. The bomb went off, and they ended up winning the game, but they had to go much further. I think into overtime to do so. And there's a clip of him just looking at him like, what? Like, why have you done this to me?
Well, we all learned a lesson that day. As we'll see the first headshot come through. There's Maiden kicking things off in style. Dren completely dumpstered that towards the pit. Another kill coming through. Maiden with a double. And that's enough just to fit the brakes on at this point. You've done such a good job already. You're waiting for CT reactions. They still have 2 smokes for the cross. I don't know how you get back into this round if you're Virtus.pro, but time will tell. Boost towards the bomb sides where it all begins.
Kickert's already up on top of the site now as a result of that, so trying to look down long with that USP. He's got the first on Michael. We didn't catch that. Smokes down, 2 of them to cover off the ramp. That means Kickert's alone to fight, and Crystal's the one to take him down. So it's Jame and Buster. Jame has armor. Does he consider that to be worth saving? We'll find out. I mean, he's down in CT, tough position to get out of, but smokes can favor him as well. The problem is the car position. Even if those smokes were still there, he's spotted the second he arrives, and Sticko stands up to make that very clear. Buster at this point could justify maybe saving because he can get a quick upgrade onto head armor. A little bit more to work with in the next round, but I would argue that if they're not going to force buy onto that, chances are you're not going to save 2 rounds in a row. Maybe just go for a few kills with the USP to try and build up the money. We'll see what he can find. He has been detected by the sound of things here, and Maiden gets himself a 3rd kill there. Nice long take to kick things off. A couple of flashes thrown over. Fantastic shots with the Glock to enable them to get 2 opening kills. And then this took their time there, didn't panic, closed things out in style. All 5 players going down, and we will see a very successful start there for GODSENT. Michael on your screens now will be AWPing on Dust 2 for sure. Could have trying to build up that cash now. You might see him with an SMG here just to send himself in first, work out what's going on. As the boys on the Virtus.pro side, they could force buy this one, but they've opted for the full eco. And Crystal hitting the first scout shot there as they kick her down to 55 points of health. And indeed, Michael on the Mac 10 had the decent long spawn as well. Just trying to get the intel at this point. They have no long control from the CT point of view, suggests they're probably going up towards short, a stack there. So you're better off just staying towards long here with the range advantage of those rifles. Flash goes high. Watch for Jame on this setup as well, because he's in no man's land. They haven't made any contact. I'm sorry, you've got to identify that sooner. They're just going to walk up long. He's standing there with absolutely no information. His teammate at the wall just not getting anything done for him. It's a bit peculiar. Now the alert comes out from Sticko. He's got to be careful here. He's already been dinked up, but he's Oh, 58 to work with. You can hear the player behind him. Fair play. He actually turns around to catch out Kickert as well. I thought for sure they were going to lose the Galil.
Yeah, it wasn't the cleanest start in that exchange, but managed to get all three in the end. That's all that really matters. Keeps the sheet clean. And we get into the next round, and the buy will be coming through the CT side. Unlikely they have the orb. If they do, it will be Glass Cannon. And you might see M4s and FAMASs here. Difficult to really make this round work, but if ever there was a time to give it a go against the MAC-10s and Galils, could be a perfect opportunity here as we move forward now. The orb does come out. Glass Cannon purchased by Kickert, actually. Okay. Not James. Interesting considering he's got armor and he's your main AWPer, but let's see what happens.
Yeah, that is a bit peculiar.
There we go. Okay, this is the long spawn situation.
Yeah, but okay, James didn't have the money for it, so he has to give it back. He has the armor. I was going to say, wouldn't you still rather have armor on Kickert as well? But I guess that wasn't an option either way. It would have been without an AWP,
yes.
So he could have done it with a rifle. I shouldn't say either way, excuse me. But yeah, in order to bring the op out, that was how they had to do it.
Well, long takes in this map are so prevalent right now. If you get the best long spawn, you pretty much take it every time. So I guess Kickert had the best long spawn in CT point of view, hoping to shut it down, but no one came in that direction, so they'll swap back. So short control, at least found for GODSENT. This is one of those rounds where set pieces are so powerful. You want to try and get as close as you can with those MAC-10s and Galils. We'll see whether this is where James can start to come online, though. Michael Lady just with the scout bear in mind.
Shot out. James actually got Crystal down very convincingly and then falls back through the smoke. That brings Buster out from mid. Great 1-2 punch and trade set up from those two as Maiden has to go aggressive towards Catwalk. He's actually already made it out toward Gandalf and he's got a Molotov, but I think he was too preset on that position. And ultimately could have been bounced from further back. He wants to clear the ramp, but he's sitting there without any support to do it. So he's very defenseless when they do peek against him. And great start for the round of Virtus.pro. Sticka wants to pull that back smoke down. A bit awkward, but just one remaining. And Kickert's going to try and deny the plant. Can't quite do that. Should still win out the round as Adren rotates back in.
Nice work there from Virtus.pro. Good clean round. Only one player going down in the process. That's going to be Sanji. As we said, a support player, normally dropping weapons and finding himself on SMGs, but that's a clean one for VP. They're first on the board here. Got some of the plan, they will still have a buy available. Remember, that's a bit of a bonus situation considering you've got Galils and Scouts going forward. This will be the first real gun round now. A true test to see where the boys will be heading, what kind of game plan they've got here on Dust 2. This is, I presume, the pick of GODSENT. It's a map they've been trying to play as much as they can. It's actually of Virtus.pro, though. So GODSENT with, is it Vertigo on the second map? I assume it is. So that's a quite an interesting map here. They've picked Vertigo. I know they play Dust 2 as well. So this is looking quite good for GODSENT in that sense. We'll see whether this opening pick will come through. Michael Ailey trying to do damage through the smoke. He's on the glass cannon now, just to note that. Flash towards short. And Adren with the CT side AK-47. They've got a couple of those. First pick again.
Yeah, absolutely. James got it last time, and then it was through the smoke that he faded away. This time it doesn't quite have the same effect to someone trying to trade back against the op and then having a rifle to support it. But Zen's got out middle, so this will start to open up a bit for the T's if they're not careful on the CT side. Sanji's already rotating around considering this. He's going to be smoked off. The bounce smoke to cover top box. There's no one to follow up behind it. The second one comes now, but the Incendiary's already held them back. Incendiary's already held them back toward the tunnels. So this is pretty evident. They don't have information on Catwalk, but the B players are certainly ready for this.
There's such a lack of conviction there with that those two smokes towards CT spawn. I think they know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, if you're going to hit it, you're going to put them out together. The
Yeah.
timing on that's just evident. And here we go. Crossfire setup. They're not going to book. Oh, yes, they do. Crystal does. And he absolutely nails Buster. Now things get awkward. Sanji at least claws back some control of middle. But the bomb goes down inside of the site. Even though it's a 2-on-3, B site's a pretty tough place to get back into.
Yeah, they've got a lot of utility here. Smoke for the tunnels, Molotov for the platform, and the bomb site. They should be fine unless Michael Ailey goes absolutely nuts. The orb, and he hasn't got any armor, remember. That hurts.
Michael Ailey. Just absolutely obliterated. Flashed, Molotov, stuck behind the box. I don't even think he knew where he was shooting at the end.
Yeah.
And Adren gets the kill on Crystal. That's a good retake.
Yeah, that's why it looked like they were in a good spot there. With all the utility available, Michael Ailey have no armor, just melted. As we go 2-2, there might be somewhat of a buy going forward for GODSENT, but it's not going to be a great one. As we'll see them start to slow down somewhat here. That was all down to that kill towards middle. Zen in position to catch transitioning players. Sanji somehow comes out on top in that exchange. To be fair, they had a bit of luck on their side as well. That player towards the B tunnels on the CT side should have got the second frag on towards Crystal. Didn't happen. And they will finish off the round with a very clean retake indeed. And this should be the eco for GODSENT. 2-2, just a P50s. No partial buy here, nothing purchased really at all. A Deagle at the very top end.
Kickert back towards CT after getting the opening pick for now what is a third round in a row. Both of those rounds, I have to say though, despite going down 5-on-3 and 5-on-4 respectively, they still got bomb plans out of it, so they have got a little bit of money for it. I'm not going to be able to invest this round, but still, they are building toward a better future, investing for the children.
Well, it should work out. Money will be decent next round. You can see Zen with just over 3K there, and they had a glass cannon in the previous round. Want to try and avoid that on Dust 2. Lots of grenades being thrown around, as we'll see them just trying to bait those out right now. See if they can get some sort of access up towards short. Ideally get the bomb down, but you can see Virtus.pro set up pretty much perfectly. A couple of orb shots rattled off. Goose is covered to deny the plant. Shouldn't be losing anyone here.
That's the bigger thing is deny the plant. Don't let them get a third bonus from that. First shot successful from Jamie. Knows he's got the access, and that's going to be against Sanji. You said it, the setup was pretty solid. Bomb doesn't get anywhere near plants, and Virtus.pro take the lead to go up 3-2. We will have guns brought out from the tees this time. They do have enough for an AWP. I didn't see if it was enough for a full buy AWP. I saw 5150 on Kickert, I think it was. Or excuse me, on Zen, I think it was. So we'll see if they can do anything with it. So Michael Lele did have enough for it himself, and he's got utility, so that's going to be fine.
Kriegs are out. AK-47s, full gun rounds now. Michael Lele doesn't normally go for the gap shot. He normally tries to like inflict damage on the door. He doesn't go for the kills necessarily, but here are a lot of frags. Two of them. James once again hitting absolutely everything so far. Dren in tow with the AK-47. They've got a 5-on-3. We talked about long takes being very prevalent right now in the meta, and if you've got a decent system to shut it down, you have to play spawns on the CT side as well. You can get there first and shut it down with utility. So great teamwork there, and that might just be the round in itself. Sticko hoping a player's push towards upper B, but you do not want to be doing that with these sort of advantages. 3 AKs on the CT side. Makes you very powerful indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 AK CT side and a fourth round. I'm going to keep mentioning it until the trend changes that they get the opening pick, but also they've sustained it. So far, we haven't seen them claw back in. That might change now. Sticko with a very convincing kill with the Krieg. A lot of ammo depleted from Kickert, and although they're up close, he manages to get them to turn away. Crystal was not blind. He avoided the flash. But Kickert threw it in such a way that he knew he could peek off of it, and that's going to drop the bomb on the site lead with just one remaining, and he closes that as well. Good round from him. Good flash. To play that correctly, a lot of people might flash directly up, catch themselves out. He had that set, so he was ready to fight. Yeah,
that's a very good point. He wasn't necessarily trying to flash him, he was trying to take his crosshair placement away from his position, give him that window of opportunity to swing, and it works out very nicely. That was a really solid hold from Kicker here. Look at this second kill especially. Flash goes up. You can see, he turns away, doesn't get blind, but he's not there with the crosshair placement. He gets the advantage just by suggesting the flash is going to get
it. It bought him the half second he needed because Crystal actually shot first, but his aim wasn't set. Kicker was able to respond.
Well, there we have it. Kicker's looking good. We know GODSENT, if they don't get decent starts here, they have players that can be quite emotional, I suppose, and find themselves in ruts, but it's still very early days here. But Virtus.pro have looked like the more convincing team so far. 4-2, money broken again. Remember, it was GODSENT that picked up the pistol victory as well since the gun rounds have begun. And it's been 4 in a row over the CTs here. They're looking good today, VP, I have to say. This is a different looking team.
Yeah. This is convincing, and it is the opening picks that are making the difference right now.
And look how dynamic he is. He was a B before, middle, now.
I don't know that I've ever seen a game where James gone so confident that he commands. There was one at the major. I think it was end of the round of 16. I don't remember who that he did kind of set things up himself. That's a clever smoke. You get into the hinge and you throw it directly into the door. It blooms as such so that they can't see your feet when you go up on top of the Xbox. They don't catch you crossing onto Cat. And if you're that close to the door anyway, chances are you're looking for a fight. So it's not really causing too much hassle to have a gap underneath of it.
It's actually Avangard, or Virtus.pro now, has started that as a Dren, the Dren smoke we were calling it. They've got a few. At the side, that's also an Avangard smoke down towards CD spawn. That's quite funny. It's just replicating their own strategies here against them. We'll see if it works. GODSENT will be trying to make their way towards it. They've actually done a great job of actually getting the bomb down here. They've got presence on the site. Sanji can't necessarily overcommit to this, but there's a nice opening kill away for his teammates now to provide some backup in form of flashbangs utility. Has a couple of kills of the Glocks here. If this falls apart, that'll be a nightmare. 3 versus 2. The Deagle still finding damage. He's looking for the final shot here. Sticko getting it done. Desert Eagle shining bright there. That was an eco round as well. Deagles, Glocks, and they managed to execute against Virtus.pro with their own strategies.
Yeah, Sanji got cut off because he went searching for the player on the site and was not aware that there was still someone behind the bags. That second shot coming out, he did not have the awareness at all. And man, I got to give Sticko credit. Those shots aren't easy to hit sometimes with the Deagle, to hold the patience. You got that angle lined up.
That's so funny. Those were both called the Avangard smokes, one towards the door and the CT boxes, and he just got a taste of it, and it works out with Glocks and Deagles.
Sticko's probably the most prominent player on this team in terms of, you were mentioning a lot of them 2 years ago that we last saw them last having sort of relevance in the top echelon.
Yeah.
Sticko's more recent than that, obviously, his time with Mouse Sports.
Yeah, he's actually looked really good this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, they won some decent international events in that lineup when he was a part. That was the Sunny Mouse Sports.
That's right. Did he get replaced by Snacks? Was that the transition? Sticko
Originally,
out,
yes. And then that was when things started all getting a little weird in that team. I mean, they won New York with Snacks, to be fair, so. Which makes Snacks, I think, a 2-time finalist in New York, but a 1-time winner. Zen's going to hold mid. We'll see how the smokes play for him. They've gone for a deep one to cover off anyone rotating down from middle, but he's going to push the tunnels. I mean, this is interesting because he's going tunnels, which by default belongs to the T's, but because they haven't put any pressure there throughout the course of the game, certainly the last few rounds, this round at the start, he's got to creep that direction just to make sure there's no aggression.
40 seconds remain. Significant damage inflicted towards the Godsent boys. You can see them limping up towards shore now. Battered and bruised. Maiden going through the smoke now. A single flashbang, and Jamie hasn't missed many shots so far. Can he keep it up? More defensive this time in terms of positioning. Kick up. Backed up by Sanji there, the support player that's taking all that aggro away. This is perfect from Virtus.pro. That's how you hold the A side. Working off each other. Take the aggro. Get one kill. Forward. Teammate swings out after it. There's no way to keep up. And Godsent has just been blown out of the water there. They're going to Molotov towards Goose, but they won't go quite deep enough. Could be okay. Apparently not. Sanji taken out of position, but there's only 4 seconds left, map. They're done. 2-1, round over. And it will be Virtus.pro going up 5-3. Need to survive this one.
In different times, that would have been a hard reset.
Yes.
I mean, that's how crucial a follow-up act is. And it's similar in this. They still keep the injection. They go back to a 3-round bonus now at this point in time. But you have to consider that they don't have a ton of money to work with. And this is going to build back up. I was about to say Avangard, Virtus.pro. You've got it in my mind now from mentioning the smokes.
I know.
It's not as bad as Chad with 100 Thieves, though, I'm sure, right?
I keep it in my mind. It's still Avangard. I can't stop. But I'm going to try my very best now. VP all the way. We can do this.
The plow.
The plow's back. It's looking good. It's refueled. And we'll take a tactical timeout now. As you mentioned, it's Devil Walk behind the boys at GODSENT. Been a coach before, for Fnatic. Came back for this project. 5-3, and they do have a buy available. Remember, they saved 2 weapons out of the AWP and the AK, so money won't be in a perfect position, but the lost bonus starting to help them out now. The scoreboard coming through. Sticko at the top. Numbers inflated a little bit by those eco kills towards B, but still got 8 in his own right.
I do think this might be a tech. I'm just looking over. I see the admin getting a little bit involved there, and I haven't seen too much talk from the coaches. So this is going to be a quick tech by the looks of it. Yeah, you can see Devil Walk behind Michael Lele now. Lele is back, I think was his tweet.
He is back. It's been a while. What was the last prominent team he was in? Was it the Kingwin project? Was that after NIP?
Yeah, Kingwin that became essentially
FaZe.
G2.
It was G2 then FaZe?
Yeah, it was Kingwin, G2 Kingwin. It was Kingwin, then G2 Kingwin, then FaZe bought G2.
Yeah, okay.
It is confusing. That one was very confusing. We had teams doing like projects together, and then there was a lot of crossover.
That must have been his last big lineup. There was that FaZe kind of international squad.
And then obviously he was with the GODSENT guys for a little bit of time. Dignitas, I think he did a stint in as well. Okay. And then I could be wrong on that one. And then now he's back with GODSENT. And the good news is he can do a sick beatbox while you rap now. You've got your beatbox back.
We've been missing it. That's a problem. So yeah, a slight technical issue here. Hopefully it won't be too severe. Trying to look at the monitors now so we can get some intel what's going on. Everyone's connected still. That's always a promising sign. So hopefully just a TeamSpeak issue, something trivial like that.
That always is pretty trivial, isn't it?
Yeah. But this is our second quarterfinal of the day. We'll see who'll be booking themselves a place in the semis. GODSENT weren't expected to do much in this tournament, very similar to Mad Lions in that respect. Managed to take down some big names on their way, book themselves a place in the quarterfinals. I think they've done enough of this tournament already to feel good about themselves. They feel like the hard work's paid off. They obviously want to go as far as they possibly can. This is a good matchup, I think, in terms of the matchups they could have hoped for. This is a decent one. Like, they should be quite happy with this opportunity to play VP. They're in good form right now. They want some tough opposition. They want to have to take some big scalps on their way. But not going so much to plan right now after winning the pistol. Getting a little bit flustered here. Have managed to win one eco round, but no gun rounds as of yet.
So we'll get, hopefully, started. The admin's still kind of keeled over. I can't see who he's leaning over right now. Not a Dren. Maybe it is Kickered on the end.
No, he's on the... He's the one. Sanji at the end, I
yes,
believe. Yeah.
Kicker's just beside him. You're right. I couldn't quite see that far. You've got your glasses for this now, Henry?
I know. They're all scratched up, though. It's the only pair I have. I can't really see that much with them. Actually,
do you actually get decent pairs? You're not like some people I know that always have a million scratch pairs because they buy like the $2 ones that they just throw away.
I have one pair of glasses, and yeah, I just need to replace the lenses. But they do work. They function, sort of. So
when
we'll
it
see
matters.
now what's happening. The boy's kind of looking at me. I'm kind of might just sit down. Looks a bit strange. There's Crystal next to Maiden as well. Looks like the fist bump's coming through. We might be good to go here. Some chatting going on. I can see ready has been typed in, so we are off. Last series of the day here, our second quarterfinal. GODSENT versus Virtus.pro. A new look Virtus.pro, not the Poles anymore. The CIS squad, formerly known as Avangar. See now if Michael Eddy can start to inflict some damage at this point. No shots connecting here. The smoke goes down. And in terms of the setup, pretty traditional. But we do have a player towards short. That's James again. So dynamic so far in Dust 2. That's how you want him to be. He's been towards B, middle, short, long, every area of the map. So you can't predict where he's going to be.
That is super difficult to do, and for good reason. I mean, the AWP being in the back of their minds like that, when they don't know where he's going to be and they have to consider every corner and every angle they check, just buys so much space for the rest of his teammates as well. And can bait out a lot of utility from a T side, which needs that for execution. They don't have a lot left right now. 3 smokes, that'll do on A if they get that far. Make it one less man, though, as James already hits the shot on Cat and drops away quickly. He's already spamming the smokes at middle as well, and they're going back that direction. Michael Lilly might be able to sneak out and catch them off, but James not going to stick around too long, and they're going to additionally throw another smoke in that direction.
Oh, that incendiary is powerful. They were just posturing there for the B split. You can see the middle players have fully committed here. They're going through the window. Kickout can hear them. They've bought enough time now to at least block them from the tunnels. Nice work from Kickout. He's going to find at least one kill here. Big spray from Buster. Equal trades for now. 3 versus 2. Virtus.pro the advantage, but you mentioned it before. The B bomb site, very difficult to retake, but once more, they have utility. They have the incendiary, the smoke for tunnels, the flash to go over. They should be okay here, considering that GODSENT have nothing. It's come down to just pure firepower for them, but good positions at least back at the bomb site towards Car, giving themselves the best possible chance. It just comes down to hitting the shots here.
No one to clear on top of the platform. That's the easy spot. They'll do it anyway. That's where they found Michael Lilly last time. Maiden. He's not going to budge until he has to, but he needs to rely on Sticko to hit the shot on anyone above him because his position's revealed the second that he gets the shot toward tunnels. Both remaining players out toward the front of the site, and I think this is decent. Maiden, 2 kills, follows it up to find James. Not bad at all from him. You did say to watch for him. 4 kills in the round, then it's going to be the 4th for GODSENT.
Yeah, Halvor and I were casting a GODSENT again the other day. He feels like he's the next big young breakout player. Like Maiden for him is going to be a remarkable prospect in 2020. I tend to agree. Like some of the plays he's bringing out and these real high-pressure situations as well, just perfectly done here. Timing's great, movement's good, shots even better. James, no chance there at all to get out and save the orb. And we go 5-4 here. Money very low on the CT side, but a hero orb has been purchased. James gone for it. He's been hitting shots so far. I respect him. It takes a lot of damage in the process. Down to 39. He'll smoke towards middle and try and look above it. See what he can do. It's rotating now. Makes his way towards the A side of the map. Got to hold towards the ramp. Can't quite get that smoke down yet because his view blocks by the smoke on the other side.
Flash in. This will be a Dren to peek. We're going to snap away from that action. We probably should have stuck there because he finds Maiden on the Deagle. And he gets back in a hurry because he doesn't want anyone to refrag onto him, but there's actually weapons available as James will get Crystal. That's 2 toward the A site. So James' solo AWP has already had an impact, and Adren now has an AK. He's going to give it to Kicker because Kicker has armor. That's a decent decision to make.
2 kills given away. GODSENT still with a fighting chance. If they're going towards long, that HE is going to do a lot of damage there. And now the P250, a chance, but it's not the most ideal weapon to try and shoot through smoke with. Doesn't connect any of the bullets, but he takes some aggro away for Kicker, but stuck in the flames. Made a sound cue, and now trying to bait out Jade. Will swing. Zen ready, though. That's going to be a nice advantage now for GODSENT. With the bomb going down, they take the lead, and Michael Lady, he might confirm things here. Nice work. And 1 more kill to find. It's only the Desert Eagle of Adren. Pushed back as a 5-on-3. They've recovered there, so very well done for GODSENT to tie things up at 5-5.
Michael showing off some form. This side of the bracket would play against Na'Vi in the semifinal, so the victor of this will play them tomorrow.
And that they've already played them.
That's a good yeah, that's a good point. And when you consider the other side, therefore, it means that Mousesports will now go up against the previous winner in our last series. So that is set with Mad Lions, who could be a surprise. To be fair, if Mousesports aren't ready for the challenge, could be surprised by that entirely. Adren's going to try and save this AK. Off the angle. And just when he decided to move, knowing that the op was that long, that's when he gets taken down, and Sticko will recover it instead. Like you say, 5-5. GODSENT absolutely holding on. Considering the start, remember it was the early picks. Remember it was 4 rounds in a row that were all converted, but the early pick went the way of Virtus.pro. They're not having that success now. I mean, to be fair, they had it this time, but didn't have the weaponry to really follow it up. Thought when they got the AK they might, though.
It all falls apart. Michael Ailey, comfortable and calm towards that car position. Hasn't landed one of those shots yet, but they're throwing the smoke pretty efficiently every single time. Have a default here, but long take at the start. No CT presence there whatsoever, so use that information. You have a focus towards short, maybe go for a mid-split here. Kick out close to the M4. No real backup. He's got 2 players at short here, and he can feel his vulnerability. He needs to maybe fall back. So will they try and boost James up? He's towards short right now. Kicker does find that first kill from CT spawn. Maiden taken down. The way he's playing right now, it's a huge scalp. And just staying alive now. He's down to 16 points of health, just playing for information.
Smoke for Adren, bit awkward. He's trying to hold this cow off position, but if he even dares stick around too long, the trade potential's there. Oh, he's going to go through. He knows there's a Krieg on his right. He's not ready for the op, but he goes through and finds that instead. How did he not get that kill faster? And where did Crystal go?
He dropped down to Xbox, I believe.
The exact second that he put, what are the chances of that?
If anything, it probably helped Adren out. That wasn't a clean kill. He probably would have got nothing if the other player was available. But here we go then. 4 versus 3. Make it 3-on-3. It will be Zen to find James.
Kicker goes hunting. Pushing out mid, they've got the rotation from B tunnel, slowly cornering off the map. They know it's obviously toward A at this point in time, but Crystal's the one that could catch them off. And just simply by existing inside of CT, he can also confirm that they're either going to be coming from long or cat. So it's process of elimination, or is it? Because he gets eliminated. Buster, it comes out worse for wear on 20 HP, but he gets the kill. And that's the important aspect. It opens up the map again. Zen at least able to catch out Sanji when he gets to the top of the stairs. And they're going to retreat, but not successfully. Sticko has Buster down, and GODSENT are going to take back the lead.
Yeah, they've done a great job here. It was a bit of a slow burner to get into it. They had to win an eco, then lost a few follow-up rounds after that, but now have some very convincing gun rounds here. Kicker saving the AK-47. He's got an incendiary and a decoy to go with it, but ultimately his team are going to be struggling for cash going forward, as Zen recovering the AWP, getting 2 kills towards the end of the round. Sticko will survive as well, and indeed they will take the lead here, 6-5 on the map pick of Virtus.pro here. So money is in the bin. Kicker saves the AK, but with the loss bonus coming up at 4th stage, which will be $2,900 after this round, they pretty much have to eco. They can maybe get some deagles around the AK-47, but not worth the force buy at this stage. So this could be the tactical timeout. Just confirm that. Can have a look around here.
Direct view. Yeah. You've got an all-seeing eye at this event, so you might as well take advantage of it.
It's the first one called by Virtus.pro. There you go. Bit of intel, live from the show floor. Speaking of show floor, we do have a lot going on around us. We hear music in the background.
Very different event than our typical climate.
It's not a standalone event. We are kind of piggybacking on a conference called ICE, which is a gaming/gambling conference here. We did the same thing last year, but this time we actually have a crowd and more of a spectacle going on instead of just the Octagon we had last time.
The Octagon was good times, though.
It was.
I was looking to get in there with Blame F at one point.
Well then, getting back into the action. 3 rounds in a row for GODSENT. 6-5, and it is the eco. 2 nades though, could be used towards long. I dare say they will be. And Zen should be able to get a kill out of that. The nades not really landing exactly what they wanted, but the bullets do for Zen. That's going to be the first kill for him. It's not him. I guess he had the long spawn, that's why, again, using that weapon at the start. He got 2 kills within the previous round. They're probably happy to keep it. Crystal, a bit of an overcommitment considering he's by himself, but it confirms there's 2 players towards B, and they'll be making their way to the A side. Nice work. Great spray control.
Yeah, Maiden looks very relaxed once he gets a good angle and a good position. He doesn't seem to make too many mistakes with it. This is GODSENT impressing once again. I mean, I was, like we said at the start of the show, I was not expecting much at all from this roster, and yesterday they were incredible, and now they look pretty solid again with a 1 round about to become a 2-round lead. On the T side of Dust 2, okay, fair enough. I mean, it's Dust 2. Pretty neutral map in that sense, but
I guess in the last few months it has been more T-biased, but I don't think that's by virtue of the map. It's just the way
certain teams.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there's a massive takeaway from that, but that's the way it's looked to me at least. But yeah, this is great for GODSENT. After a difficult mid-stage to the first half, they've actually really bounced back 4 rounds in a row now. 2 players to save on the CT side once again. But this is the perfect time. Virtus.pro probably going to take a tactical timeout going forward at this stage. They just took an eco, got maximum loss bonus coming up. They've saved a couple of weapons. So they could bring out a double orb setup here if they really wanted to. But will it come through? James, of course, could have the sniper. It looks like he has to be dropped in now after purchasing all the grenades. Coming towards the end of the freeze time, might be a tactical timeout here. I would say it's a good time to drop one in, but not going to happen. And just a single orb.
Tries to go for the mid shot as they cross over toward B, but no success. There is going to be 2 players waiting in tunnels. Had they hit that shot, you would have expected a fast act play. Try and rush down the remaining defender and use strength in numbers. Maiden is already toward the mid door. Molotov doesn't quite favor him, though. It spreads a little far. He can't get through, but it does clear off some angles.
You can see the way he threw the flashbang first, though, to blind the CT that's maybe there. You've got the flashbang Molotov combo in that position. That's how you can really cause some damage on these gun rounds, but no one there to receive it.
The other aspect of that, too, is the flash takes away hearing. You don't hear the bottle bounce, and you actually, not only are you blind and unaware, but you haven't heard the first noise cue that you need to move. And it does more damage that way as well, as Maiden does get Sanji, but James does get him back. So James holding toward long with the AWP. Finally some stance on the A side, and they still have long. They have not lost the anchor at the doors. In fact, that battle will not even take effect. It's going to be Sticko that subsides and heads back over toward Catwalk instead. James gone aggressively towards the ramp. Bit of hesitation on his part. I don't think he's expecting a player to be off to the right. Considered after the fact with the peek, but through the smoke, it doesn't matter. He's got Sticko down. Kickert's got Zanin back into control of Virtus.pro.
Absolutely true. A resounding round there from James. 3 kills in total, a couple through the smoke. He hasn't missed many shots today. If you give him an opportunity, he'll take them every single time. He's moving around, he's looking sharp. And that's a big one for them to pick up. Money was getting a bit desperate. They lost 4 rounds in a row. They deny the 5th. And keep 3 players up as well. So GODSENT slowing down somewhat there as we go 7-6. They've got plenty of money, of course, and will stick on a single orb setup here for Virtus.pro. They've got a good long spawn for that first player there. That's going to be a Dren, so he'll be the one who's either getting the incendiary in. And a scout for Michael Ailey. A weapon that's been getting a lot more attention, especially in 2019. It's fantastic for doing a bit of damage. If you can find those headshots, finding nice openings as well, but don't see too many of them on the gun rounds. We'll see whether Maiden can bust his way through middle. He's actually managed to get through the double doors at least. No one close range. Checking out towards CT spawn. No presence there whatsoever until James gets on the scene here. He's on the car right now. He could be spotted potentially. But Maiden focusing towards B. Silence is his ally right now. They have no idea that mid's been taken. You can see his teammates making their way towards tunnel. As soon as he gets 1 kill, his teammates will come through. This is sick for Maiden. He needs multiple kills though. 2 will do. They know exactly where Kickout is. He'll have to throw the Molotov, which could be enough here, Matt. They're going to have to commit through this and they know it. Good call. Has it worked out for them? Maybe not. Kickout does what he can. Still a 3-on-2 advantage for GODSENT.
Yeah, and a good trade. Running in with a clock of all things. It's going to now be Sticko that has to sit back and make sure that he covers off the rotations. Good position to do so. Adren stood very little chance walking through the doors to battle against him, and this man, AWP, bomb planted. Yeah, all right, let's just let's pack this one up.
So, That was all down to Michael with that Glock. Sure, it looked a little bit silly, him the one committing off it, but had they have not committed, they fall back. Kicker has to be bomb, so they have to go A.
Yeah.
The fact you got 2 kills there, and you notice just one dude there, take the damage, sacrifice one player, get the round done, and that was a good play from Michael. Like, had he gone through, his teammates didn't follow. Again, it all falls apart. You got to trust in the teammate that's gone through. You got to support him. It was the Glock to get the kill, but Kicker definitely could have saved the day there. Not going to happen. Jane will be saving as that brings things into 8-6 now. We're going to have the AWP towards T-Spawn. There's a bit of presence around him, but he jumps down and should be absolutely fine here as we get into the final round of this first half. VP starting to slow down somewhat. Money won't be fantastic for this final round, but they did save the AWP. He hasn't challenged T-Spawn once yet. Maybe that'll be the call for round 15, but I feel like Michael will be aware of that. Let's see. Double orb set up for the first time in round 15.
Trying again to get that shot through the mid doors, no connection. So James the one that's going to have it toward B. Oftentimes that's where the secondary op ends up because it's a little more of a static position. They sent Buster into mid, so both ops covering off the entire B side of the map. The rifles are going to get a little more aggressive. They have put an anchor and kicker to get behind the doors at long. That'll allow a bit more support inside of middle. 2 smokes, one to be bounced and one to be held. That'll cover off the window, so they want the direct mid entrance. You've got to go a little further before you can take the fight, but there's a timer on the play. They're not through yet. In fact, they're only going to send one player. That's Crystal. Jane, he's got aggressive toward B. Never mind being static at all. That's why he's there. Leg shot. Buster follows it up. Damage was done, and then he absolutely nails Zen. Call it done entirely because Buster's come inside of the site. 2 ops to hold B. Not bad.
Great sequence there. Jane, you thought he was done for after the leg shot comes in, but the buddy system brought into full effect at that point. Buster will be backing him up. 5 kills found between the 2 AWPs. Might have wanted a bit more of that action. 2 orbs on Dust 2 is very viable indeed. They only dropped it in 1 round. Yeah. Money wasn't ideal for them throughout their campaign, but still, it's always such a great setup on Dust 2. As we'll see things swap over there. They'll be happy with that, though. It was looking like the half was spiraling out of control for them. Is it Adren's birthday today? I assume it is. It'd be weird if we put that up otherwise.
I mean, the way it could be. We'll just say that it is, right?
Yeah. Happy birthday, Adren.
Facts don't matter.
Yeah, there we go. So, big pistol here. 8-7, cut it right down the middle.
I think that would be his 30 now. That would be his 30th.
Must be, yeah.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Adren. But we'll see if they can win the game or not, because down around already. Pistol, a battle in the spiral staircase, which is not often where you see it go down, but they're going to try and back away. CTs have to be very careful at this point. Crystal, he knows he has to support Zen. Zen's stuck in the corner, but he may have done so. One kill, he could bait him in at this point. He could actually stay at that box. However, right. James is aware that there is still a bit of a presence inside of middle, so they may consider that.
Here's massive advantage for Michael Early in terms of positioning and weapon. Pushes him back towards B. The bomb's down there as well. PD-50. Not the most ideal weapon for that range, and we'll find ourselves in a 5-on-2 bomb down round over, I'm afraid. Just up to whether they can get any actual kills at this point. Adren, James, just going to slow it right down, see if any mistakes are made, any over-aggression. That was a nice play from GODSENT. 3 players at one point towards lower B, got the bomb, basing each other in. Didn't overcommit, didn't panic, and no grenades here for VP. So, James just going to be swinging in from short. Teammate beneath him. We might get a couple of kills here. CT still fine though. Zen gets the penultimate frag. James, low HP, tucks himself in. Probably good for another couple of kills maybe. Not going to happen as Zen will close things out there. Big pistol for GODSENT to pick up.
How interesting that that's the position he tried to catch them off from, considering that's where Zen was waiting to get baited in originally. But yeah, they take the pistol, and that's problems for Virtus.pro.
James okay with that. They gets himself 2 kills, right? And he's the AWPer. That's where he wants to be going forward. So that round was already over. The fact that he gets $600 extra, it's something. But completely shut down there towards lower. This is the pick of VP. GODSENT putting up a hell of a fight so far.
Michael Ailey. Scout actually connected with kicker, but I think it just connected through the edge of the wall. Odds are pretty even, and I think that's a fair representation of where they should be. GODSENT in the lead of the game and both the betting pool as well, it seems. Maiden's going to try and sneak in. This is an aggressive play for a CT player. At this point in time, MP9. This is an interesting buy as well, because you talk about a bonus round potential. Dust 2 has some of the longest corridors of all the maps, and you've gone with a scout and 4 short-range weapons. So look at the result, though. Very unorthodox. You're pushing everywhere, including the long cave, now into the tunnels. It works for them, but now this is the reason I bring it up as well, because okay, not only is it a gamble in that sense if they brought out Deagles or a Scout of their own, but now if you want to play for a bonus round, you can't. You've got AK-47s, a Krieg, and an AWP. Sure, you can farm some cash, but you're almost letting this round go.
You're dead on. That's exactly how I describe it as well. They're going to be playing crossfires here, maybe a bit of random aggression. As long as they get 2 or 3 kills, it still is a successful round, right? They're going to try and get as much out of nothing as they can. There's no point upgrading to the rifles unless you're going to do it across the board. Yeah, essentially just throwing money away. You can still make this setup work. There's very little chance of them winning this round, but as I said, 2 or 3 kills, make it uncomfortable for them, that's enough.
So the op shot finally landing down middle. Jame now. For Virtus.pro, we'll be taking that fight, I think, quite commonly, should money allow. Sticko's been damaged considerably with an AK spray at long. I was going to say that had to be through wood somewhere, so that's the only other logical position.
They've got to be sneaky here. They need to try and get players into positions like the long doors. They need to have some sort of an advantage as MP9s. Very difficult map for this to actually work out on. Got to tuck yourself in. You can see they're taking a gamble towards B. 3 players in that bomb site, just hoping they can work together. They've already taken a lot of damage here. If they go towards A, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that VP will win the round. If they go B, however, there is a chance. They've got the incendiary still. They can time those well. Segregate the Ts. Isolate them, potentially. We'll see. There's the first. And you can see exactly what Maiden's trying to do here. When they finally commit, force one of them in, pick up a rifle, and he's going to throw it like right now if he can. Down he goes. So now the player's committed. Oh. And down he goes. So he's done enough there. Flashbang coming over.
And he hit his teammate in the back of the head, unfortunately. But yes, he has done enough. Michael Lilly's going to try and get back toward with the Scout. It's a difficult one to make work. Unfortunately, the other MP9's not really in a position. So they can throw themselves at this. The one thing they have is kits and armor. You could justify saving that, but you got to buy in the next round no matter what.
Just exit frags. They're waiting towards the tunnels with his MP9s to try and steal away some AKs. That's about it. But there it is. We're going to have Sticko in towards T-spawn. 2 players and lower.
Could you see a double bonus? I can't see a double bonus situation. I think no matter what, they got to get onto the guns.
They're going to challenge this at the end, yeah, for sure. As soon as they feel like the T's are coming back to the tunnels, that's when they'll commit. Which is about now. It's working out quite nicely.
Very nicely. Consider that kill on the SMG is worth $600 additional, and now they've taken away AKs that they can upgrade onto. Sticko's gone with one. That's a job well done.
Yep, that's what we said. A couple of kills, ideally 3 there, but they've managed to take away an AK-47. They knew they were in trouble that round. A Scout and 4 MP9s against a full buy, of course, it's not going to work out, but it's part of the overall bigger game plan. If it does work somehow, amazing. You're in such a fantastic spot, but there's no point throwing away those SMGs for no reason. It's not a buy I like, particularly in the second round anyway. 4 SMGs in the Scout, I don't really rate it, but either way, here we go. First gun round now. You see the AWP come out for Michael Lilly. See a distinct lack of utility on the CT side. Good nades, though. Again, barely any damage on that one.
It's ridiculous.
So good.
I don't know what's going on with the nades today. Like, is there something we don't know about in this event? They've just cranked the damage down.
Yeah, it looked so good. Well, here's the same sort of... Adrem was the OG.
Yeah, he threw it much better. Didn't bounce as many times.
Exactly.
You can tell he knows it. He knows the lineup. He's got that one down to his science. Crystal through the smoke. Might as well give it a shot. Give it a try. See if any damage can be deployed. He's got Sticko to be baited in anyway, so even on the reloads where they could capitalize, he's got a teammate ready for the fight. Additional smoke, not quite. No, they're late. They're late, but they've got to get the AK. They're ready. They're down. And Crystal had to hold. That's unfortunate timing because they had the utility deployed rather than the guns. And now the round is pretty much secure for Virtus.pro. 5 versus 3. They have the site. Nothing GODSENT can do but save.
Yeah, you're not going for this one. Dust 2 is a bit of a weird one. If you even have an equal situation, the bomb's down towards B with no CTs present, more often than not, you're called to save. It's such a difficult site to retake. This one, obviously, got to be a save. 5 versus 3, going to save the AWP on Michael Lilly. As we have Zen on the MP9 still. That weapon still causing him a bit of an issue, I suppose. And the M4 for Maiden. So money will be tight. So definitely is the correct option here. Don't need to go for any exit kills. It won't have a massive knock-on effect. And they'll position towards long. VP win the 3rd and 4th round here. There it is, no hunt. Everyone just securing their weapons towards the B tunnels. Still anyone's map here. If you are just joining us, this is our 2nd quarterfinal. Looking to play against Na'Vi in the semis here. GODSENT No one really had them making it to the playoffs, but have put in a lot of hard work in theory. It's evident in their results and play style so far. Throwing some star players, the likes of Maiden and Zen. You got yourself a potent combination there. Been very impressive so far. So 1 round in it, and it's James. Conviction once again, 15 kills to his name, looking towards short this time.
Interesting hold from the T's, waiting for aggression out of GODSENT. So they've gone to that double up setup much sooner than what we saw from VP in the first half. And it's going to be far more costly should it fail. Bombs at spawn, by the way. So that says enough about the intentions of VP at this point. They'll go back to gather that now. Dren to do, Kicker to do so. No long presence. It's gonna be a straight cat take.
Yeah, nothing along at all. There's a CT smoke down towards the end as well, meaning they have no idea if there's a CT within these doors. You can see Sanji aware of that fact, but he needs a flash from a teammate. He can't just walk in there dry due to the shadows, so Taz got 2 behind him. They took the risk there, even with the shadow. Happy to go in dry, and Crystal with the MP9. Now this is a position where it might actually be able to do some damage. There's the first, we get 2 kills here, and off on the third as well. This is actually looking great for him. It's going to be a commitment from James, which does just about work out for him.
Not only that, he gets 2, forced out by the Incendiary. James has to go with a pistol because he's the op. That's actually a winnable fight again. He could have got all 3 in that situation. James does get the op back into his hands to find Maiden. They'll toss the bomb across because they cannot. There's a gap in the smoke. And the second peek, Zen's actually got him down. It's 2 ops on the retake. And James to hold from long. They did get the bomb there in the end as Adren will get the plant, but that was a very awkward situation.
Oh, it was dicey. Now you got 2 ops on the retake here. This shot has to connect, which it does. Zen gives him a fighting chance now. James is low. And the plant is not great. It's a platform plant, meaning he has to hold this position right here. He can't be in the pit to see the bomb and the smoke down. That makes him the nightmare. He's lost track of it. He can't win now.
Flash off. Oh, you say that.
Pull it,
if
pull
he
it.
shoots,
He's done it.
He's got Zen down. There's only 19 seconds. I say only 19 seconds. That's plenty, is it not? But he's got it to a one-on-one, which means he can get more aggressive with Michael. He's close, but not close enough. Diffuse kit, it's done. There's no way he gets a 3rd shot in time. And he'll get him, but the bomb already diffused.
That's such a shame. He did well to even get that first diffuser there. So many smokes down, absolute pandemonium. As I said, the only angle of approach he has is from that platform position. As soon as he takes his scope off the pre-fire, he has to find the lineup once again. Those smokes down, and it becomes much trickier. As we'll see it go 11-9. GODSENT just about clinching the round there towards the end, and now the money a little bit rough. So everyone went down, remember. They won the round, sure, but all 5 go down on CT side. It's reflected on their current buy. They've got MP9s for masses, no kits, barely any utility. Someone has to step up here. They've gone for a 2-on-2 setup. Maiden alone towards short. He's maybe pushing top middle here. Time will tell. James, some sound cues, flashes towards mid. He's got a rifle right next to him. He might go down quickly here.
I think he's gone. If he even lifts his head at this point in time, especially with the consideration toward mid. Does he? Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, just check that. That's pretty special, actually. Just absolutely smokes. I guess we both had poor predictions today, Henry. We both have called out ops for being in bad positions. Acor, in your case, mine being James, and he absolutely nails it. He's on 36 HP, but on the AWP, that doesn't matter as much. He can still take fights. He can still take the angles. So the early pick in favor of Virtus.pro. Even though the last round was won, we saw it. Michael Lilly went down a fraction of a second too late. But what it meant is that there's not any money saved for the CT side, so this is still a very pivotal round. You're looking at potentially 11-11 as a scoreline should Virtus.pro pick this up.
Yeah, good point. Michael Lilly with no grenades behind him. This raw firepower needs a couple of kills here. At least he delivers. The bomb goes down. Can he get a 3rd? Too much to ask at this point, but still, he's got him into a winnable situation. A 3 versus 3 with damage being done towards CD Spawn. Crystal has to reposition here. Not looking good. He's got no flashes, no backup. And then Dren will take care of him. Kick up and find the penultimate kill. Lots of damage inflicted here, and Sticko knows it. Tries to grab the AWP. Now goes for the AK-47. Bomb to be planted, but still a slight chance he can do this. There's the first kill. 1 versus 1. Kick out's low. He could do this. He's in the pit right now, but will he find the instant quick kill? Not going to happen. He's now low himself. Looks to retreat potentially with the orb, just pick it up and then go for the shot.
I think he's going to go for the shot. Yeah, he wants the aim. He's going to try and utilize the AWP to perfection, and he will! Oh my goodness, yes he will. He knew the exact angle. Does he have time though?
Yeah, he does.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right, he does. I was looking at the time at the top. That's actually switched to the defuse time as well, so they echoed each other. I thought that was the bomb timer. I was like, it's going to be close, but...
So that's cool. It looks like, he's just going to pick up the orb and get out of there. No, he picks it up knowing that's going to give him a greater chance of actually closing out the round. Here's a replay from before. James getting the kill through the smoke on the original diffuser. Couldn't win out the round, but he did so much damage financially by getting all 5, or taking all 5 down in the end.
And I just want to point out, Michael, you said that...
Oh, he hit him that first shot. We didn't realize that. When he took the first shot, he actually hits Michael Early. He legged him through the wall.
Yeah, he must have clipped the ledge. That's actually almost a disaster.
Yeah.
Just to go back to Michael Early, did super well to kill 2. Odds are still staying super even in this game, and I think that's totally fair. He did super well to find 2 kills, but I think the problem was when he backed away, he was tending to go all the way to the site, and he went to the right, which means he opened himself up to the smoke. You want to reposition and set and either take the fight or go to the left and let that smoke cover you, and I think that little indecision actually cost him what could have been a 3rd kill, and then I think the round at that point.
Yeah, well, with no utility available to him, that was more than he was worth, to be fair. 2 kills and almost got the 3rd, but you are right. And we get ourselves a very tense situation now. Getting to the bookend of this first map. Money broken on either side. So many close rounds here. Kick out with control towards short. And the Krieg, he holds on to it. He's back up right now. He might have bought enough time here, but the MP5 swings out through the mid doors.
Wow.
That's Crystal. He gives them a 4-3 lead, loads of damage inflicted to these players, and they'll make their way in towards B. They've used this information, taken a bit of a risk, and just gone in towards the B site, which is wide open.
What an opportunist.
Yeah.
Crystal literally realizes that there's so much chaos going on and his teammate's going to need help. They're going to shoot from lower, that he just runs and guns with the SMG, as he should do at that point in time, and gets the kill to get the difference on the board, but the bomb's still planted. Sanji's got Zen down. This is going to be a problem again. That B site, it's always a menace. They do at least get Sticko to get Sanji pushed back by the AWP, made him vulnerable. Adren is waiting for an opportunity. Tunnels to hold.
Oh no.
That's a huge miss.
Oh,
and he's missed the shot. They know they can push the backside. Watch the flank, doesn't even go that far. Michael Lilly gets both.
You don't love to see that map. It's all falling apart there for Adren, not known to be an AWPer, and misses some key shots. Got a bit unfortunate on the timing when he took the scope off. But then fumbled a few times afterwards. It was still looking good for GODSENT, regardless if he got that first kill, but definitely a chance to close that round out. Had he have connected a few of those key shots there, will be GODSENT getting the defuse in. It's going to leave us now at a 13-9 score lead for GODSENT on their opponent's pick. We said that was a massive round due to the finances. They got the bomb down, but still in partial buy territory. And GODSENT, one thing I'll say about them, they're one of the few teams that haven't really given up any disastrous rounds to pistols or full ecos throughout this tournament. They've been really good and disciplined in that respect. They call the right things, they play together, they've got very good spacing. A few mistakes made in that department. So they should be fine here, but there is every chance CZ can find it, opportune timing.
I mean, consider the last 3 rounds, though. You have the Michael Lilly defuse, you have the 1v1 clutch with an AWP picked up to fire at long, which is pretty clever.
Yeah.
And then you have a bit of a missed retake, botched retake, 2 players stay alive, but you've had 3 opportunities. This game could be a whole different scenario, and that's Counter-Strike. That is how it always seems to go. Tiny differences that make a massive difference. 4-round lead for GODSENT as a result. This is Virtus.pro's pick as well. We go to Vertigo next.
And GODSENT, they've picked that. They're going to show us what they're made of.
In defense of Virtus.pro, they've played it twice in this event.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people that are picking Vertigo are picking it because they've played opponents that maybe it's hard to gauge how good you actually are. You sometimes get a false confidence.
I'm not sure there's many GODSENT demos out there of Vertigo. Maybe it's a little bit tactical in that respect. That's aggressive from Maiden towards the T-spawn area. Swings through the double doors, and it's going to be a B commitment in response. The CZs make their way through. The Molotov does not land at all. They should be fine with this one. Zen can hear them coming through. They saw the double doors, though. That was the key frag, and they're going to run past the player in the corner. He's just part of the crew now, joining in the rush. As we'll see, Crystal close things out here. Should be able to do it with the USP, and he'll survive either way. There's going to be one final player. That's James in the smoke. 14-9. They're in touching distance now of closing out Dust 2. Looking very good for GODSENT here. After a difficult start as well.
Yeah, a very difficult start. Again, we go back to those 4 rounds where each and every time Virtus.pro had the opening pick,
yeah,
and they won them. There was no rebuttal. There was no mid-round change. 1 round Sticko got a pick with a Krieg, but wouldn't have predicted that they would turn the round in the game around so significantly. Have to see what Virtus.pro come up with. Back into it already. I'll tell you right now, there's going to be a bit of action toward long from the CT perspective. They had actually 3 players heading that direction. They leave it with just one, Mike Galili, AWP at the corner. They want to, that makes sense. You send the rifles, you get the AWP in the position. Once he's there and confident and anchored, then you can back off and play elsewhere. But he's already given it up. So this is a really different setup already from GODSENT. Mike Galili is on the site toward Goose. There's some catwalk activity as well, and Maiden was close enough, but hasn't stuck with that plan. James instead is already trying to peek out on middle. James goes around the corner. Maiden is in the drop spot. There you go. Perfect look at it. In fact, they're going to put... Oh, okay, I thought that was going to be a flash. It's a bit far away for a flash at that point, but they're going to use the incendiary instead.
At the 1 minute mark now. Change of setup.
That one's
player
missed.
Committed. Dren's through. A few footsteps, a good flash, but tucks himself in. The nade should do some significant damage there. That's more like it. Good 60 damage off him there, and he's down to just 24.
That nearly caught them out. Their second Molotov was a bit slow, and I don't think they were fully ready for a Dren to be that close, but you're right, the nade works wonders. He's down to 15. James is gone. It's Mike Galili that's going to win the duel, and the second AWP. Maiden nearly got a second as well. Buster's going to slide out. Inevitable that he goes down at that point in time.
I love this from Zen. He knows he's got 2 kills there. He saw the look on his face as he jumped up. They have no idea. Even if they take down his teammate, he's got a kill in the back there. Great, great round from GODSENT here. And it's now a 4 versus 1 with 10 seconds remaining. Buster, nice shot, but it's still going to be map point for GODSENT there. Really nice movement, good communication as well. They are looking rock solid so far.
Yeah, if they look this solid again, I'll say it. I think Na'Vi is the favorite, should be the favorite, will be the favorite in that game. But you have a bad day. Na'Vi, they're known to it every now and then. GODSENT's playing in a way that they could capitalize on that should they go through and end up playing them tomorrow in the semifinal.
It was their opening series against Na'Vi, GODSENT that was, and they took a map off them. They had close
That is right.
results.
Yeah, that's right. It was a 2-1.
Yeah, so they were just warming up to the tournament now. They're looking much better than the first day. So there's a chance they can take Na'Vi down, and that's if they get there first. It's the first map of our best of 3. There's maybe getting ahead of ourselves.
It's pretty risky, Mike Galili. He's trying to fire it through basically the top of the frame, but his foot would show first, so it's a bit awkward. Maiden, good push on the CT side. He already clears out the tunnels. Now they're willing to rotate off of middle because this side of the map's essentially covered for now. The timer on that, the smoke, minute 25, they could still take back tunnels, and actually it looks like that's what they want to do.
Yeah, well recovered from Maiden there. Didn't panic after the initial miss spray. Knew he did damage, just recalculated it, calmed down, got the smoke in as well. Retreat's got a 5-on-4 at map point. Everyone's fired up, damage inflicted towards kickout as well. They've got 1 smoke, a Molotov, Galil's, UMPs. This should be where it ends. Should be in the operative word. And a great position for Zen as well. They don't really have anything to flush him out unless they throw that 1 Molotov in that position, which could happen. He's up for a couple of kills here.
7-2 this half.
I think
Favor of GODSENT. So it was an 8-7. Remember that. It was 8-7 in the first half. They've just been dominating ever since. Molotov to try and clear Zen. He's going to hold his nerve, hold his ground, but not find the shot. Sanji gets it instead. Pressure on Maiden. They now know he's there, and he's got no one else in the site. Or does he? Mike Galili took no time getting through the doors. Didn't even consider hesitation. Walked in, got the shot, and everyone after that stays alive. 16 rounds for GODSENT, and it was 8-2 in the second half. Only 9 for Virtus.pro.
Great game from them. It was looking like it was going to fall apart at one point. They weren't really getting the same momentum at the start of the game, but as soon as they looked comfortable, as soon as they had a couple of rounds go in their favor, sure, there was some ridiculous moments there with the full eco victory towards A that really comes to mind. But once they found their footing, they looked like the solid team once again. They haven't made many mistakes this tournament. That is something very rare to say, even at this level of Counter-Strike. You'll normally see lots of mistakes or ecos that fall apart, that sort of thing. They've had a pretty clean tournament. There haven't been too many disasters so far.
No, I've been impressed. I mean, you saw them more than I did, obviously, in the group stage, but that is a solid performance. And it's Mike Galili looking sharp, and that's a guy that was falling off. Were we ever going to see that from him again? Obviously, we talked about that. It's not just the organization coming back. It's what can the players actually bring to the table, but that is impressive.
Virtus.pro give it their map pick to GODSENT there. We're going to move on to Vertigo next. Before, though, we have the beautiful analyst desk or area. We're going to convert this one for them, and we'll be back with the second map very shortly. We'll see you there.